Devin Haney and Shakur Stevens. That's a great matchup. Teofimo Lopez and Gervonta Tank Davis. As far as in the heavyweight division, Usyk, what's his name? And Fury. We need to match those guys. Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. Those. So it's just so many great fights out there.
After Tank's dominating performance over Ryan Garcia, one of the biggest questions in boxing is what is next for Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis already revealed his hit list. His hit list includes Lomachenko, Devin Haney, and Shakur Stevenson. And he was asked about Teofimo Lopez. He says Teofimo Lopez is not really on his hit list, but if the fight happens, it happens. Listening to that little soundbite from Mayweather, he's pushing for Haney versus Shakur Stevenson, and he's pushing for Teofimo against Gervonta Davis. Now, after the Ryan Garcia fight, I would like to see Gervonta Davis fight the best at 135. You know his hit list, Haney, Shakur, and Loma. But I would not be mad at a Teofimo Gervonta Davis fight, especially if Teofimo can beat Josh Taylor. I actually would be more excited with a Gervonta Davis Teofimo fight than I was with a Ryan Garcia fight. Maybe they can make that fight and the undercard could be Ryan Garcia against Rolly Romero.
And nobody really likes fighting a guy that has a lot of output like that, especially when you're not a guy who has a lot of output. And Canelo's economical with his punches. He relies a lot on power, timing, skill. You know, he'll let guys waste their energy and then he'll come on and he believes that the power and his accuracy is going to bail him out, and it has, you know, for many, many fights. So nobody really wants to fight a dude like Benavidez, and you have to add in his height and his reach. And he's not a scary fighter. He's looking for the smoke. That's a lot you got to contend with. So if they fought, I know Canelo's going to come ready, and he's probably going to be, you know, what he needs to be able to compete with Benavidez. But, man, I think you got to lean toward Benavidez, man, you know.
Andre Ward just named 3 or 4 reasons why he thinks Canelo is avoiding a fighter like David Benavidez. And he also said you have to favor David Benavidez over Canelo for those reasons. Punch output, reach, height, and most of all, David Benavidez wants to smoke. He also says Canelo is very economic with his punches, likes to throw a lot of power shots. I, for one, does not think Andre Ward is very fond of Canelo. A lot of things he's saying is true about both fighters. The only thing I do not agree with is that Canelo's avoiding him, or Canelo does not want to fight a boxer like David Benavidez. I do like that about David Benavidez. His punch output is great, and he seems like he gets stronger when the fight goes on. But the question I do have actually is a couple of questions. You know, how would his punch output be against a power puncher? I haven't seen David Benavidez in there with a power puncher. Caleb Plant is not a power puncher. And I think people who thinks Canelo is avoiding David Benavidez would have a better case if David Benavidez would have held on to his WBC belt instead of losing it on the scale. Because in that situation, for Canelo to be undisputed at 168, he would have had to go through the Mexican Monster, aka David Benavidez. You know, some people say, well, Canelo didn't go for undisputed until David Benavidez lost his belt. But that's David Benavidez's responsibility. And I like David Benavidez, and I want to see the fight. But it was his responsibility to hold on to the belt, be disciplined, and defend it. So I would have to disagree with Andre Ward. The reason Canelo didn't fight him earlier is because he had no belt, weak resume, and he wasn't number 1 in the WBC. He had nothing to gain from it. And this is the fight I want to see. I want to see this fight over Dimitri Bivol. And I think this is a fight that Canelo should take. But I do not think he's avoiding them. Anyway, leave your thoughts and comments below. JBZ, I'm gone.